Hello all, welcome to Tech Capture. Myself Vishal Bulbule, and in this video we are going to discuss about a Google App Engine. So Google App Engine is a very special service in Google Cloud because this is a very first service provided by Google Cloud, and after that Google Cloud started their cloud journey. So in April 2008 Google just introduced this Google App Engine, and after that they keep introducing a new products or new offering in a Google Cloud. So in this session we'll see what is a Google App Engine, what are different features of Google App Engine, the types of App Engine. So there are two types, standard App Engine and flexible, and then we'll create one App Engine environment and we'll try to deploy a sample service on a Google App Engine. So this is, I mentioned, this is a first GCP service provided by a Google Cloud. And here, so we'll see what is a Google App Engine. So App Engine is a fully managed serverless platform for developing and hosting web application at scale. So there are different compute options provided by Google Cloud, like Google Compute Engine, Google App Engine, Cloud Function, Cloud Run, and all these compute services are used for a different purposes. So Google App Engine is best suitable for deploying your web applications. So why it is best suitable for web application? Because it is completely managed by Google and you just need to take care of your code, and you don't need to worry about the infrastructure or any other component of your application. So we can create a single app engine environment and we can deploy multiple service in that single environment. Also, we can deploy multiple version of a single service using the app engine. So app engine supports multiple languages, so which includes Go, PHP, Java, Python, .NET, Node.js, and Ruby. So there are some features of app engine, so we won't go in detail of these features right now. First we'll go to our cloud console, we'll create one app engine environment, we'll see how we can create app engine environment and how we can deploy the services. Then we'll come back and look for these features, what are these features and how we can explain this feature in a practical way. So I'll go to cloud console here and I'll create one app engine environment. So you can create app engine environment only once your project, and then you can use it to deploy the multiple services. So if I already used app engine in this project, I don't need to create app engine environment again. But if I am doing it for very first time, I have to create for app engine environment. So let me check. Okay, so I haven't created app engine environment here, so it will ask for a create application. So this will be the prompt you will get for a very first time in your project, and once you created your application you can just keep deploying the newer services. So this is only a one time process for particular project. Okay, so it will ask for a location and a region, so I will choose a US central one for this project and I will go next. Okay, and app engine environment is ready now. So here you could see it is giving you some option to use language Python and environment standard. So I'll just click on, I'll do this later. So my app engine environment is created now, so I can deploy a services on this environment. So how I can deploy the services? So first I have to create a code for that, so I can deploy that code. So I'll go to my cloud shell, I'll create one simple web application using Python and Flask module. So it will be very simple program. So I'll go to open editor tab here and I'll use a cloud shell. editor, which is inbuilt in a Google Cloud Shell and has most of the code editing features here. Okay, so here you can either open folder or you can go here and open workspace if you already have workspace. So I'll go on, click on open folder, and I'll just open my this home folder here, and from this I'll just first set the project. Okay, it was typo, it is D. Okay, my project is set. Now I'll create one folder. I'll create folder mkdir application. So I'll just create application folder, and I'll just give full permission to this folder. Okay, so let me see if this application folder is created here. Okay, so this application folder is created here. Okay, I'll open this folder and I will use this folder for my App Engine service deployment. Okay, so in this folder I'll create one Python file which will have code for my Python Flask web application. I'll create one configuration file which will be my YAML file, and then I'll create a file to download a dependency that will be called as a requirement file. So here I'll create three files. So first file I'll just save it. I'll give name as a main.py, which will contain my Python code. Second file I'll create app.yaml, which will contain a configuration. And third file I'll create a requirement. So if in our Python code we are using any module, we have to first install that module, and that module will mention in requirement.txt. So I created a three file. So in main file I'll just copy paste a simple piece of code from Flask, which will just print some message when we hit that URL. Okay, so this will be my simple Flask application code. So this will just return this is my first web service from Google App Engine. Okay, and in app.yaml I'll just put only a runtime. So what runtime I want Python 3.9. So for 3.9 you have to write it as a Python 3.9. So I'll save this, and in requirement.txt I'll just mention a Flask version. So I want Flask 0 version. Okay, because I am importing Flask here, so I need to mention this version in a requirement.txt. Now my code is ready. I will go in cd application. So you have to always go inside the folder where your app.yaml file is present. Okay, so I'll just do ls hyphen ltr here. Okay, and here I could see app.yaml is present, so I have to deploy app engine service from this folder. So how I can deploy? Either I can just simply type gcloud app deploy. Okay, but I have to specify the version, so I'll mention the version v01. Okay, and I will enter. So once I enter, it will start some operation and we'll see the logs what it is doing. Okay, so expected string or byte like object. What is error? gcloud cache type error. Okay, let me check if I made any typo. So this is good. Let me check for main.py. But this will be after the configuration file, so let me check. Okay, so here I need a space, so let me save it, and now let me rerun deploy command again. Yeah, now you could see it's asking to confirm, so it will ask for the YAML file which we are using, app.yaml, which is correct. The source directory is a application folder which we are using, project which is a GCP-d, which is again correct, and version v01. So this will be our target URL once our service is deployed. So let me confirm. Okay, now it's deploying a service. So file upload done means what it is doing, it is uploading these files to the cloud storage bucket, and now it will deploy service in cloud build. So let me go to cloud build just to show you what happens at the background. So if you are using for a very first time, your cloud build and other APIs which are using app engine should be enabled. Okay, now you could see it's created one build here. So let me open, and this will deploy your cloud build, will deploy your app engine service. Okay, so this is successful. Here you could see the logs. If your deployment is getting failed, here you could see the logs. So it is successful. Let me go back. So it will take few minutes to update here, and let me go back to app engine and let's see in services if it is deployed. Okay, here you could see one default service is deployed because we didn't specify any service name. Version is a 1. So let me go inside my default service. Okay, so it is printing. This is my first web service from Google App Engine, and this is the message we mentioned. So this deployed successfully now, and this is the message we mentioned in our main.py. So let me go back to the services again. Here you could say it is having only one version. Okay, so we deployed v01. So here it's only a one version. So now let me deploy a new version. So what I will do, I'll just go to my cloud shell, and here I'll just print version 2. I'll save it, and again I'll deploy it using v02. Okay, so I'll just put yes. Okay, and it will take a couple of minutes because it will again create build job in cloud build. Okay, and once it is successful, it's around take 30 to 50 seconds here. When it is successful, we can check in services. Here currently it's only one version showing. We'll go to build job. Okay, it is still running. You could see the logs are getting updated here. Okay, and now it is a successful. So let me go back here and let me reload this page. Now the versions you could see as a 2 now. Okay, now you could see version as a 2, but if you hit this URL it will still point to the, okay, it's pointing to the version 2 because we didn't use any specific command to mention not to upgrade to this version. So let me go to version here. Okay, now you could see version 2 is serving 100% traffic and version 1 is now 0. But now if I want to upgrade to new version but I don't want to publish it for user until or unless I test it completely, so what I can do, I'll just make changes here. I'll make it version 3 of my application, added some feature just assume, and I'll again version 3 and I can mention no promote. Okay, I'll do S. Okay, now what will happen, my service will be deployed but it won't be accessible to the users. It will only deployed in a app engine. So let me again go to the build and see if build job is created. Yeah, it is created. It will again take around 30 to 50 seconds. So let me go and check the logs. So this will be helpful if your app engine deployment is failed. You can go here and check the execution log, what is exactly failing, because in cloud console or like cloud shell it won't give any specific error, so you can debug any failure in cloud build logs. Okay, now it's deployed. Now I'll go to versions again, and version 3 you should see it's having 0% traffic. Yeah, so version 3 is 0%. And if I go to dashboard services and I click on this, it still show you a version 2 because you not migrated your latest version for a public use. So you will do some testing, so just assume here you will do some testing on your version 3. So if I click on this specific version now, it will show me a version 3. Yeah, here it is showing a version 3, but actual main URL will still show version 2. So you will do some testing with this specific URL, and now you want to migrate a traffic. So you want to migrate traffic to v03 now. So you will select this version and click on migrate traffic. So if you use migrate traffic, all of 100% traffic will be migrated to your version 3, but I don't want to migrate. I just want to make version 3 available for a few of the users and check for their feedback and their valuable comments, how we can improve that version again. So what I will do, I will just use a split traffic and I'll split randomly. So what I will do, version 2 I'll keep 50% and version 3 I'll keep a 50% and I'll save it. So what it will do, it will randomly put 50% of users on version 1 and 50% of users will divert it to the version 3 because we choose using a very random behavior. So now let me go to the service and version here. Now you could see 50% traffic will go to your version 3 and 50% to version 2. Now let me go to service and let me try to see which. Now it is on version 2. Let me reload. Okay, So it's still on a version 2. Let me go to here. Now it will take, now you could see version 3 is reflecting, so it's randomly putting traffic to version 2 and version 3. So this is way we can split the traffic. And now just assume we tested our version 3 completely and it is fine to publish for all public use. Then we can simply go to versions and we can just click on this version 3 and we can migrate traffic. So it will migrate 100% of your traffic to a version 3. Okay, now it's 100% is on version 3, and if you refresh it will only show you version 3. Now it won't come back to version 2. Okay, so this way you can deploy multiple versions of your service and you can split the traffic as well as you can migrate the traffic. But one thing, if you observed here, if you are deploying your application or you are creating a compute engine and deploying application or your compute engine, you have to take care of multiple things. You have to take care of your CPU, your RAM, which kind of machine you want, network, firewalls, and all the performance of your virtual machine. Everything you have to take care. And if you are using App Engine, everything is getting managed by Google. You just need to use your application code and Google infrastructure. So if I go to instance, so whenever the traffic is hitting to your App Engine, the instance will be getting created here, and if there will be no traffic there will be zero instance. So currently you show it's two instances available here which are very dynamic, and request you could see 5 and 6. So let me keep reloading a couple of times and check if any change here. Let me refresh. You could see now this instance is serving all your requests. So it is 15 and this one is 5. So let me put some more request on App Engine URL. So this request count will increase because this instance is service your request. Okay. Now this instance is increased to 11. So if there is no traffic for some time, it will scale down to 0 in App Engine standard environment. So again here you can use some firewall rules. So currently you could see default it is having a star means all IP ranges are allowed, and just I will create one firewall rule, okay, to deny traffic from. So I'll just let me check check existing firewall rules. So default action, so I'll create one firewall rule. Priority I'll just keep as 100. IP range, so I'll give external IP of my system, and I just want to block traffic from this IP address. So I'll just pick this IP address, okay, and I want to block traffic or request from this IP address. I'll put this IP address here, deny, and I will save it. Okay, now it should deny traffic and I should get an forbidden error. Okay, now you could see access forbidden. So I cannot access this App Engine service because my IP is in deny of the firewall rule. So let me delete this now. So by default it is allowed for all because this will be used for your web application and it should be accessible over the internet. If you are using any internal service, then you can manage firewall rule. If I reload now, I should able to access the service because I deleted the firewall rule. Okay, now I'm able to access the service. So that's it for a Google App Engine. So if you have any doubt in creating App Engine service or creating App Engine environment, let me know in comment section. I'll try to help you out. and thank you for watching this video.